Well, people, finally, I've been saying it for a while, but I finally got round to watching Spider-Man No Way Home. And boy, yo, you know what I mean? Like the worry is because it's been so long, right? It's been so long. So you've heard everyone talk about it. You know what I mean? Like everyone has something to say. So it's just like, oh shit, is this gonna live up to everything I've heard? Right? Because now it's built and built and built. You worry. But yo, this was so fucking good. Oh my god, it was so good. And you know what I mean? At the beginning, I was a bit like, am I gonna dig it? Am I gonna dig it? It's a little happy. I dug it. I motherfucking dug it, people. Yo. So, like the previous two, this one is directed by the man Jon Watts. So Chris McKenna and Erik Sommers handle the screenplay duties. And of course, Spider-Man is based on Stan Lee and Steve Ditko's comics from back in the day. You know what I mean? Created the character and all, the foundation, all the great stories that we know and we love. So it is produced by Amy Pascal, Kevin Feige, Feig. I don't know how you say his name. Feige, Feig, Kevin Feig, Feige. It's like, how do you say that? I don't know. But whatever it is, he's the motherfucking man, right? He's the architect. You know what I mean? It is executive produced by Matt Tolomash, Joanne Peritano, Rachel O'Connor, Louise De Espicitio, uh, Avi Arad and Victoria Alonso, co-produced by Mitchell Bell, Chris Boniurio. Yeah. And with a little associate producing from Emily Fong and David H. Vinhos Jr. Music was Michael Giacchino. Cinematography was Moro Fior. It's edited by Lee Folsom Boyd and Jeffrey Ford. Casting was Sarah Finn. Production design is Darren Gifford. Art direction and all that was Clint Wallace, Brian Stoltz, David Scott, Ali Safadari, Christian Maloney, Francis Lynn Hernandez, Orkson Besarov, Samantha Avilia, and Lauren Abenus. Set direction, Rosemary Brandenburg and Emmanuel Husley. Costume design, Sanja Milovich Hayes. So yeah, that's the main group of people. And our cast, well, I mean, you know who's in it, right? Right, people? So we have got Tom Holland back as Peter Parker Spider-Man. We have Zendaya as MJ. Now, obviously, right, I knew it wasn't Mary Jane, Well, I think I knew it wasn't Mary Jane. Well, I knew it was a new take on the character, obviously. I think I don't know because my memory sucks like a motherfucker, right? So I don't know, but in this film, it's like, oh, it's Melissa Jones. I was like, did I know that? I don't know. But I was like, interesting. Anyway, you probably didn't need to know that. We've got Jacob Batalon back as Ned Leeds. We have got Jean Favreau as Happy Hogan. I mean, old Fav taking time out from his Mandalorian and other Star Wars duties. We've got Marissa Tomei as May Parker. Tony Revolori as Flash Thompson. We've got Benedict Wong as Wong. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think most people know, right? A lot of our guest stars up in the place. There's also Angori Rice, she's Betty Brant. Paula Newsome is the MIT Assistant Vice Chancellor. All right, Hannibal Buress is in there as Coach Wilson. JB Smoove is Mr. Dell. Martin Starr, Mr. Harrington. J.K. Simmons does his thing as J. Jonah Jameson, right? And yeah, there is. I mean, there's a lot of other people, right? So Ned's mum, aunt, Lola, is played by Mary Rivera. I mean, you know. So yeah, let's give motherfuckers a shout. Toby Maguire, he's back. Andrew Garfield, he's back. We've got William Dafoe, Norman Osborn, Alfred Molina as Dr. Otto Octavius, Jamie Foxx as Max Dillon, aka Electro. You know what I mean? It was yeah, you know what I mean? Oh shit. It was fire, right? Reese fans, Dr. Kurt Connors, right? It was pretty fire. Thomas Hayden Church, Flint Marco. You know what I mean? It was great, people. It was great. Man. And the gist of the piece, Peter Parker's secret identity is revealed to the entire world. Desperate for help, Peter turns to Doctor Strange to make the world forget that he is Spider-Man. The spell goes horribly wrong and shatters the multiverse, bringing monstrous villains that could destroy the world. So, right, with Spider-Man, I did something I haven't done before. Yeah, I rented this through Apple. I you know, if it's not the cinema, you know what I mean? It's waiting for either waiting for something to come on, you know, one of our many streaming platforms, or it's a screener. That's usually how I do this. But yeah, I was a bit like, all right, let me try this renting thing. Obviously, as well, because it was cheaper than going to the cinema. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just trying to find screenings and all of that jazz. So yeah, that's what I did. I rented it, had a whale of a time. It was very enjoyable, you know. and I can sit as close to the fucking screen as I like. So it was all right. It was all right. Obviously, on a big screen, the sound effects and everything like that. Like a film like this, it shines on the big screen, obviously. But I still enjoyed it, man. Still enjoyed it. So the big thing was, right, after the way, shit, the last one, I forget what the last one is, what the tagline is on the last one, right? Far from home? I mean, yeah, I think that's the last one, right? Far from home. I think, yes, obviously. Um, because you had the whole Mysterio thing. Yeah, I mean, it just ended with that video with the and Spider-Man's real identity is Peter Parker. And you were just like, wait, what? What? You know what I mean? That was crazy. When they dropped that shit, you were just like, yo, what the fuck is gonna happen? So this one, it opens up kind of with playing through that sequence. You know what I mean? Like the news is showing, well, when I say the news, it's that motherfucker Jay Jonah, right? He's showing that footage. He's in motherfucking heaven. You know what I mean? And so we get that. And then it's what's gonna happen. And they play, because it's just like, oh, how are they gonna play it? And it played out, right? You think, oh shit, that will make sense, right? That will make sense. People flock in, and obviously, it's Peter Parker. That means he goes to school. The people he hangs with, and that's what happened. I mean, the police, there's all this shit goes down, and it's like, ooh, okay. But he's got his little crew, MJ, Ned, they're his peoples. So, what I mean? It was them pulling together and everything like that. So all of this, you're watching it, it's just like, yeah, this makes sense. We have some drama with May thrown in, but it's starting on this, it's kind of upbeat, even though what I mean, the world now knows who Spider-Man is, but it's starting on this kind of upbeat tone, right? And so you're watching and it's just like, okay, where are they going with this though? How are they gonna rectify this? And we have him visit Doctor Strange, right? Visit Doctor Strange. And like that whole interaction, that was kind of fun because you kind of remember Endgame and just Peter, man, like he's always in awe of these people, and so he talks to them in a certain way. So you have all of this, but Strange, just all of that, man. It was fun. It made sense, and then it goes to shit, right? And even that makes sense, right? Because it's like, help me do this thing. Oh, wait, hold on. Could we do? Oh, can we do? It's something that obviously Peter would do. You know what I mean? So it all fits in within the character. It's just like, it's not doing things that you're just like, hold on, why would that happen? Like, wait, that's some silly, you know what I mean? So that was all fire. And it's like the introduction of these old villains and everything. It was so fun to see everyone, right? It was so fun to see everyone. And the real kind of great thing was when we have these villains, because I think having these people in the film world and everything like that, costumes get changed, looks updated, but we do kind of get a throwback with everyone, You know what I mean? Like the Goblin and like Electro, like we get like these kind of old school looks on them, and that was, man, that was a visual treat, right? That was a visual treat. But all of these interactions, everything that went down, you did buy it, right? You bought it. And but you had interesting little things thrown in, like the whole Doc Ock thing, right? The whole chip thing, and you're just like, oh, that's, yeah, that would make sense, right? That would make sense. And so you have these interesting threads. You know what I mean? Like everything's going to hell, but you have these interesting threads and everything interweaving to create this story. And just as it's getting to a point, suddenly we get these new things drawn into the mix. You know, it's these old Spider-Man films, you know what I mean? It feels like it was a long ass time ago, right? That you had Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire ones, you know? and they do throw in a reference to Spider-Man 3, you know what I mean? But we get these reference points, but when you know what I mean? Because I think you still remember those films. You know what I mean? They still got that warm space in your heart. And all the characters, man, they were still those characters. You know what I mean? Like Norman, right? Just that whole schizophrenia kind of vibe he has, and just that whole thing. Yeah, yeah. How come on, man, that just worked, right? That just worked. And it was believable. I think you were expecting, but even with that, the way it all plays out, so satisfying, right? So satisfying, so satisfying. You know, just the chemistry between Holland, Maguire, and Garfield. That was fantastic. It was fantastic. You know, it was so believable. I mean, just like, hey, hey, don't say that about yourself. You're amazing. You know what I mean? There was just a lot of these little throwaway. Well, it felt like, if you don't know, it's little throwaway lines, but it's little callbacks, right? There was so many of these little callbacks to past films, past interactions, right? It was just that. Oh man, that moment when Garfield does the thing, right? Towards the end, you felt that shit because you saw the relief, right? The fact that it's just like, oh, I was able to do this. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't able to do it back then, but just doing this kind of mitigates that, right? You could see that, and it wasn't vocalized, it was all visual. And it's crazy, right? And I will say, you know, as I said, look, the film, it starts off in a kind of upbeat kind of vibe, but when the film turns, oh shit, the film turns, and there's two, ain't two, maybe three moments in this film where, oh, you get hit hard. You get hit hard. And like the emotional rack that you were on, you're just like, no, what the? Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. Please don't do that. And it's just like, oh, this guy, it felt like Iron Man all over again. You know what I mean? It felt, oh shit, like I love you 3000. You know what I mean? We had those moments, man. We had those moments. Yo, No Way Home is so good. So good. I loved it so much, right? Just the way Peter ends it in the shop. You know what I mean? You're just like, because you understand, right? Like he goes with the intention, but you understand why it goes the way it goes. But it's just, boy. And the setup into Doctor Strange. I people, if you had no interest, you know what I mean, in the Doctor Strange sequel going into Spider-Man, after Spider-Man, there's no way that you ain't bout it. You know what I mean? There's no way, right? But it's just everything that happens in Spidey just signpost you to that film. And then the last end credit, because we have the end credit that kind of hints at a little crossover in the Sony universe, which I don't know how much I'm down. Like listen, don't get me wrong, I will watch it because these Spider-Man films have been dope, but I didn't really care for the other ones. So, if it didn't happen, I don't care. But hey, I'm always coming back for Spidey, man. But we had that. And then there was the Doctor Strange end credit, which just has the juices simmering, man. You just watch that and you're just like, oh, oh, I am already, I am all ready to see this because we have opened up so many doors. Like the interesting ways that the MCU can go from here is, you know what I mean? It's just wide open, man. It is wide open. But Spider-Man, it has a little something of everything, right? Great action sequences, the fights, the kinetic energy, and all of that. We have some cameos, you know what I mean? Like at the very beginning, like, how did you do that? You know what I mean? Like just great. And then it's just the acting was fantastic. Right. But like at the core, it's about these friendships. It's about these friendships. And I mean that moral struggle of what's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Like when a situation, I mean, because it's easy to play certain situations and you know what I mean, just go, oh no, I'm always this. But we live in so many things with gray areas, you know? And this was that, right? It's just like, yes, you could look at it in the way Strange was at the start, but it says like, is that the right way? You know, it kind of it's not about it, right? But there's some parallels to, prison reforms and all of that kind of thing. Rehabilitation, right? Do we rehabilitate? Or do we just lock people up? Right? What's the thing you do? And I thought it was interesting, right? Interesting, especially after everything that happens with Peter. The fact that he's still on this journey. And the other Peters, because they've all had, these things that go down. So it's just watching this and the way they tell the story, the way it all unfolds, it's fantastic. And you know, like it's An hour, no, it's like 2 hours and 28 minutes, right? Didn't didn't drag, didn't drag. You know what I mean? I enjoyed every friggin' minute of this film, people. Enjoyed every friggin' minute. So, you know what I mean? I will say, if you haven't watched Spider-Man, you need to watch Spider-Man. You need to do it. And especially before Doctor Strange hits, because there's a lot here. It's a lot here, people. And hey, if you've enjoyed all the other Marvel shit, you are definitely going to enjoy this. You know, Jon Watts and everyone bring it, right? They do not let you down with this trilogy. It's fantastic. So, people, check it out, man. Check it out. You know what I mean? It was like, what, £4.99. I watched it through Apple. Yeah, it was good. Was good. So, people, Spider Man No Way Home finally did it. And boy, it did not disappoint. So, yeah, do your thing. Check it out. Have